Before we hop into the episode, this will be the last documentary episode for a little while. We'll explain everything at the end. Let's just hop into this first. Hi, I'm Lex, that dude, and I have had one crazy decade. You see, in the past 6 years, I have gotten married, then I realized I was transgender, and then I moved from California to North Carolina, from North Carolina to New York. I got my titties chopped off in New York, and then I moved back to North Carolina. I want a bus. I've given myself over 120 shots of testosterone, and to be honest, I kind of think all this is just the beginning. My body and my mind and my spirit, everything's been through so much in such a short period of time, and I have a lot to show. I have a lot documented, a lot of footage, and I want to share that part of my life. You guys get to see my past, and chill with me in the present, and I guess we'll build my future together. Welcome all. This is Evolution of Lex. Hello everyone. How are we doing? When the bus is a skeleton right now, might as well use it for an intro. We're about ready to do this thing. Talk about the last episode. I have been so ready to put this episode out. I am so excited. Let me go ahead and do this because I got a lot to talk to y'all about. Listen. This is the best way I can think to describe it. This is how it's coming to be. So I'm going to try to make it very simple because this is very complex. It has a lot. There's a lot to this. Okay. This is how we're going to simplify it. I am an artist. My wife calls me a creative. I am a filmmaker. I am an actor. I am a photographer. I am right now writing a screenplay. If it's creative, I've probably done it. I paint. I danced. Scary. So with all of those things, right, and where we live in this community, we usually have to do our art on the side and we have to earn money. So those are two different things, okay? Those are two paths we're talking about. So if you ever hear me talking about something creative, we're gonna put that over there in the creative pile. It's usually not making any money. This video you're watching right now, at this point, look down there at the date. As of that date right now, I am not making any money off these videos. That's more of the creative realm. So anything that I'm talking about creatively, just think it doesn't earn me a ton of money. I usually have to have a side job to earn the money and then do all that on the side. There's just a lot of work. And you're about to see in this episode how many jobs I have had to have to earn money just to keep my art afloat. I'm just gonna talk, mainly the job is what I'm gonna talk about, the ways I earned money. I really want this to help actors or artists, anybody in that boat. If you're creative like me and your brain only spurts out creative stuff, this is, I think, is gonna be a really good, that's who I'm trying to help. It's because it is a lot of work. And not only is, like I said, I still have the earning stuff over here where I still have to try to earn money. So it is hard to put that in if it's not paying you right now. So each job I mention, I'm going to rate 1 being I could not stand it, up to 10, which means I absolutely loved it. There was only one of those, by the way. And I'm also going to tell you how much I made for each job, whether or not it was a temp job, and kind of how long I was there. I need to put a huge disclaimer right here. This channel I want to make into the safest space for anybody to come to. I always felt like a little misfit, and if you feel like a little misfit, I want you to feel comfortable here. I'm not putting these jobs down. I just want to say that I look up to people now because I've done this, and I'm thankful I went through this stuff, but it was hard. Please don't take any offense personally. Starting out, I did not know I was an artist. I was the scared, shy kid growing up. I didn't do any kind of acting. I didn't do any kind of artistic anything in high school. I started out as a Italian in an Italian restaurant called Stefano's. It is no longer there in Lexington, South Carolina. They had the best chicken salad. You never worked in a restaurant, just go do it. I'm with Ellen. She said that before. Everybody should be a server. It will humble you. It will change you. It really will. My second job, I was a diet clerk. My aunt worked at the hospital that I was born at, and she got me a job right out of high school working as, I would go and take we had like a Palm Pilot. You know what a Palm Pilot is? I'll try to find a picture right here. God, you had this little stylus, and you would go to each person's room. You have everybody's room and their name, and you ask them what they wanted to eat. You'd have like a pre-ordered thing, and you'd be like, you want roast beef, spaghetti, or sandwich? Sandwich. All right. You want green beans, carrots, or mashed potatoes? I like mashed potatoes in there with the vegetable. Mashed potatoes. All right, I put that in the mashed potatoes. You can see how redundant this was.
So this is my every Monday morning ritual. I pack to go to South Carolina and work for 5 days. I'm just holding my underwear. Wonderful. This is what I do. This is my Monday morning.
I sold solar for a while. That was a lot because I'd have to go from North Carolina to South Carolina. That was a ton of commuting, and it was sales. So the money could be really good, but you won't get it for like a month and a half. Tricky one. You have to have that personality. I'm not a door-to-door salesperson. I don't like the cheesy business meetings. I just don't do well with that kind of stuff. It's just like, it's a different kind of, I don't do well with cheesy, and it gets really cheesy. It's all based on what you do that day. You can't make somebody buy something. So then it's like, you didn't make anything. So that's a tricky job. Like, if you do that, try that. Like, again, I'm glad I did all this stuff, but it's hard. I'm not very good at like giving my time away for nothing. Insurance, it's not fun talking about dying all day. So I talked about that a little bit in the recognition. I am not an insurance guy. Not a fan of that type of sales. That was my experience. Not every experience is that way. There's plenty of jobs out there where people are making killer own insurance and they're great at it. I'm just not good at it. Shit. I am one clumsy son of a real issue. Lex, I need you to get your act together. I mean, it's disgusting and you're on the line, so you're cleaning something up. Like, shit. Okay, if somebody were to ask me, what is your strangest job you've ever had? I got your answer. I was dating Kate, was someone we're dating, and we came to live, kind of stay with her parents for like a summer. And we were getting jobs, and we kind of went to temp jobs. I'm gonna go ahead and say this now. If you're an artist or something, you just need to get work, and you need to get money quick, go to temp agencies. Kate and I actually worked there together. The first job we ended up getting was at a pool noodle factory. You know what a pool noodle is? You know that little thing you go out there swimming with? You blow the little thing, go, water go flying. That's where we worked, a pool noodle factory. See this picture? Do you see her face? It was a weird experience. It was in the middle of summer in North Carolina. We go in and there's a conveyor belt with just boxes, and people are just pushing boxes, putting pool noodles into like distribution boxes. You know what I mean? Like, so like they'd come in one box, and you'd have to sort the colors and put them in a whole nother box for like Walmart. We're not gonna put much more effort into talking about that one. And it was weird. I was a set builder for whenever I went to ADA. So I'd help build sets and paint for the company there. Usually schools have jobs there, you know what I'm saying? So just try to see if you can get into that kind of early, because they kind of fill up.
1, 2, 33, 33, 100, 203, down to 203, 3,200, 32, sold, better number going to be 80, line number 80, 100, number 80, 100, number 257, 100, number 257, here we go, 100, time 4, 3, 200, 15,000 out of 500, 100, past 6, 7, 100, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 9,000 out of 11, 12,
I just really quickly want to show you this crazy car, man. Look at this thing. Look at the pouches. They got 1990 Suburban. I mean, look at. Back in the saddle, back in my face. Look, I got no power steering. Ugh. Let me put your ass right there. I can't even turn the steering wheel. It's so damn hard. You gotta. Golly, just drive this damn thing in a straight line. Yeah, doggy. Look at this. Look at this. Look. That is a cool, you know, that old Prelude joint. This is what we did, all this. Want to know how useless what I'm doing is? I have this squeegee, and there's water all over the floor because of these puddles. And I have to squeegee all of this water. But there's puddles making more water. So I'm just sitting here scraping water with all of these puddles, just bringing more down. So I'm literally just moving water onto this as more falls from the ceiling. That's what I'm doing. That is how I'm wasting my life. I did WAG, that was very helpful, but you get into more of a 1099 issue with these. WAG was really fun. You get to take dogs on a walk, and they pay you a lot better than you're getting paid hourly. You go do this for 30 minutes, you get $20 or $30, where you're paying $10 an hour and you've done two hours of work, $20. You know what I'm saying? It's just, for me, hourly work didn't make much sense anymore. Doing all these jobs, it was really starting to weigh on me, and I get, like, we're all in that situation where it's like, you gotta make money, but it's like, where's the line of what when can I start making money doing what I love? And it started that started leaking in around this point. That is why I'm telling you guys about this stuff. Kate and I were talking about this the other day, and I'm glad I can put it in here. Everybody wants to show you somebody winning a car or somebody making it. Of course they want to put that online, but you don't ever see the person struggling with, financially and having a financial, money journey. People don't want to talk about that. They act like we have to be ashamed to talk about money. We have to do things we hate just to earn it. I started kind of around this point, started to kind of see that. I was like, something about this isn't adding up. I'm doing this hour thing and I'm making this little bit, and this person's getting rich. And I was like, okay, I'm sick of making other people rich. Not long after the hospital job and kind of the surveying jobs, I became a corrections officer. I don't have a lot of pictures of me. I hope I can find maybe one in the uniform to prove that I was a corrections officer. It's hard. It's hard. Anybody that does that and still does that and does it for a long period of time, you are the strongest, amazing person. You know your schedule a year in advance. And you get like 2 days on, 3 days off, 4 days on, 2 days off, 3. It was like a rotating thing. You kind of got it after a while. It's a different world, and you felt like an inmate yourself because you were stuck in there with them for 12 hours. I'm very thankful for that job. That's probably one of the ones I'm most thankful for. I learned respect in prison, which is a weird thing to say. You really get to know life in so many different ways. The stories and the things that you hear about, and it changed me at a time that it needed. I was in my early 20s. I'll never forget my time there, but I don't ever want to do it again. Move on from that one. I can talk about these jobs over and over and over again, and I won't even be able to mention them all. But it did help me in some way. I never thought that would happen, doing something I never enjoyed, but somehow it forced me to be a certain breed of human. I'm so thankful that this is the last episode of this season, because to my core, I'm an artist, and you get to see this artist journey. This journey with what an artist has to do to make money and what an artist has to do to continue their art. I did this for so long. I took these jobs, these temp jobs, and I took this job and I took that job over and over and over again. And then I finally got to a point where the clouds parted and all of a sudden the job stopped.
songs, I'll fix the problem I'm bad at solving. Take down an airplane, I'm in the cockpit.
Something clicked. I don't know what happened. I believe when something like is right for you, it just happens and you don't really know how or when it happened. Bulls Vintage is my small vintage clothing business. I always want the cool Nikes in the 90s and the Jordans and the sick jerseys. At the 90s, if you grew up in the 90s, especially when it comes to clothing, weren't we the most lucky individuals? It fell in my lap, starting an Etsy store. And then after that, it grew and grew and grew. And now, as of last year, we are now an official LLC. We have sold vintage all over the world, including France, South Korea, England, and Canada.
Does it mean something? I'm overthinking. Everything's nothing. Sorry, I'm venting.
Now I wake up and I'm excited. I'm my own boss, and it's helped me become a more motivated person. If you don't work, you're not going to make money, and so it definitely motivates you. And listing and taking pictures, there's a lot to it. You have to go out and source it and find it. That's one of my favorite parts, is like going out and treasure hunting and finding this stuff. And it's changed my life. When I think of work now, I don't think of it as a gross thing. I think of it as a fulfilling thing. And I get what all these people were talking about when they could have something that they love and make money doing it.
Baby, I just wanna live before
I don't know much, but what I gather is he's pretty big in the music realm in South Carolina. But that's not how I know him.
All right, Lex, we just wanted you to talk about your experience so far on the film.
Thank you, Chris. It means the absolute world. You've definitely given me an honor to be able to do this.
Fuck
so
yeah.
Your mind is brilliant, by the way. My experience here, this is the most special thing I've ever been able to do. I went to school for acting. I'm a trans man. This was pre-testosterone before I started everything. And that added a whole layer of things. Being an actor, you get only female roles, and it's so depleting. It was killing me to act. It's just a weird chemistry about it, right? Chris has allowed me to have my first male role, and in my home state, which is very strange because I don't live here anymore. It's special, so I've really given myself everything I got because I finally can completely now act for the first time in my life in all this white. How weird, how symbolic, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Chris is just the most beautiful human with a beautiful mind.
Why am I not doing any more documentary episodes? I really, really care about this documentary. When I first realized I was trans, I had this voice in the back of my head that kept saying, document everything. And it would not stop. And that's what I did. I documented every single stage, every experience, every side effect of testosterone. I want to break up every little piece. The intro, experience with the hair, the dark days, the boob problem, and tell you about those pieces and how I evolved going through each of those things. I got to episode 10, and that's special, that's like a kind of completion. It's like a first season, if you will. I was watching a Mr. Beast thing. He has millions of views. So I take heed of some things he said. Is like, he'll never be seen unless you have at least 100 videos on YouTube. It's like, I realized I was putting something that's so important to me, something that I want to help others. And I'm not gonna let a stupid thing like YouTube's algorithm, I can't let an algorithm tell me that my documentary is important or not, because I know it is. I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna put out other episodes. I'm gonna do the bus stuff. I'm going to show season 2, if you will, of Evolution of Lex's documentary later when there's people watching this. I am so thankful to the 86 of you who are subscribed to me. That's amazing, and I'm very thankful for that. You guys that have been here with me from the beginning, you are the real ones, and I love you so incredibly much, and I don't tell you that enough. Peace and love. My homies, thank you so much.
Speak with clarity, 'cause there's too much noise around us. Or maybe it's just me. There's trash out in the sea, yeah, but I'm just a dry